Alex earned more money, won every promotion, and built a life that looked unmistakably successful. Leo earned less, attracted almost no attention, and lived so simply that most people underestimated him. Yet after 10 years, Leo had freedom, investments, and choices, while Alex was terrified of missing one paycheck. Yet, how could the man who earned less become wealthy first? The answer began with their very first payday. 10 years earlier, Alex and Leo joined Innovate Corp on the same Monday, carrying almost identical dreams. They had similar education, similar starting salaries, and the same chance to build a secure future. But they imagined success differently. Alex wanted people to see it. Alex wanted to feel free. On their first Friday, they met at a busy bar to celebrate their first real paychecks. Alex raised his glass to the future, the corner office, the company car, and a salary that turns heads. Leo raised his glass too, but the future he pictured was quieter, safety, choices, and control of his time. That weekend, Alex toured a stylish apartment in the city's most fashionable neighborhood. "You have to look successful before people treat you like you are," Alex said. The rent consumed almost half his paycheck, but the prestigious address made the sacrifice feel intelligent. Leo chose a clean, practical apartment farther from downtown, with an older kitchen and much lower rent. It was not impressive, but it gave him something Alex's apartment could not: financial breathing room. Before paying a single bill, Leo created an automatic transfer for 10% of every paycheck. He called it his future fund and treated it like the most important bill he would ever pay. Savings would no longer receive whatever remained. Savings would move first, and spending would adapt afterward. Leo's father told him, "Wealth begins less with the amount you save than with the habit you protect." 1 week later, Alex arrived at work in a brand new car financed for 5 years. The payment was large, but the admiring looks gave him an immediate reward that saving never could. 1 week left, Leo continued taking the bus, using the commute to read about budgeting, debt, and long-term wealth. They were still friends on the same road, but their money was already carrying them in opposite directions. Alex's first months became a cycle of restaurants, new clothes, and purchases that matched his new identity. Each expense seemed reasonable alone. Together, they quietly consumed everything he earned. When the month ended, Alex promised himself he would start saving after his next raise. Leo's month ended differently. His savings had already moved, so he adjusted meals and entertainment to fit. The difference felt tiny, just one transfer, but repeated every payday, it began changing their futures. 2 years passed, and Alex's energy, confidence, and long hours earned him a major promotion. His salary jumped 20%. For the first time, he felt certain he had beaten the money problem. "Now I can finally afford the life I'm supposed to have," Alex said. Before the larger paycheck even arrived, Alex had already assigned every new dollar to a larger expense. Leo received only a modest raise. Leo, no announcement, no applause, and no reason for anyone else to notice. That evening, he increased his automatic savings from 10% to 12% and paid extra toward his student loan. His lifestyle stayed almost unchanged. The higher savings rate was the only upgrade he needed. Alex celebrated his promotion by paying for an expensive dinner with a new rewards credit card. He ordered the silver sedan and booked a vacation, convinced that his future income would handle everything. A month later, Alex saw Leo step off the bus and proudly offered him a ride. "Thanks, but I enjoy the walk." "It gives me time to think," Leo replied. Alex felt sorry for him. And smart man, he thought, but clearly afraid to enjoy his own money. The Leo saw the same moment differently. Alex's car looked beautiful, but its payment owned part of every future paycheck. Alex believed success meant showing that he had arrived. Leo wanted a life where proving it was unnecessary. Another 3 years passed. Alex climbed quickly, becoming a senior manager and earning nearly twice his starting salary. He moved into a penthouse with breathtaking windows and filled it with objects that announced achievement. His social media showed resorts, expensive restaurants, tailored suits, and a life everyone around him seemed to envy. His lifestyle had simply expanded to consume every raise. This was lifestyle inflation. The more he earned, the more his definition of normal demanded. Leo had advanced too, only more slowly, becoming a trusted senior analyst known for careful, dependable work. He moved into a slightly larger apartment and bought a reliable used car with no remaining payments. To coworkers comparing appearances, Leo seemed stuck while Alex appeared to be winning by a mile. But on Saturday mornings, Leo measured progress that nobody else could see. Years of automatic contributions had grown into a serious investment account, despite the market's normal rises and falls. Beside it sat an emergency fund large enough to cover 8 months of his ordinary life. Beside it, for Leo, financial independence was not a fantasy. It was a patient calculation of expenses, assets, and time. Every saved dollar was a small employee working to buy back a piece of his future. Alex's net worth was supported by debt. Leo's was supported by assets he actually owned. Alex looked rich. Leo was becoming wealthy. And the distinction was about to become impossible to ignore. By year 8, Alex was a director, earning more than his younger self had ever imagined. Yet the mortgage, the luxury SUV lease, club dues, and premium lifestyle had grown even faster than his salary. Every bonus was spent before it arrived, repairing the debt left behind by his previous upgrade. He was living paycheck to paycheck, only now the paycheck and the cage were both much larger. During a rare coffee with Leo, Alex's polished confidence finally began to crack. "I work 70 hours a week just to stay afloat. The treadmill keeps getting faster," Alex confessed. Leo asked, "Have you considered stepping back, even if the next role paid less?" "I can't afford to earn less. Everything would collapse. I'm trapped," Alex replied. Alex had built the life he once desired, only to discover that the life now controlled him. Leo had quietly made a major change too, but his change reduced expenses instead of increasing them. After years of preparation, he placed a substantial down payment on a small duplex. He moved into one unit and rented out the other, allowing the rent to cover most of the mortgage. His home was smaller than Alex's, but the arrangement gave Leo more freedom every month. The contrast was simple. Alex's home demanded income. Leo's home helped protect it. After coffee, Alex decided that the answer was another promotion, another bonus, and even longer hours. He doubled down on the very strategy that was exhausting him, because slowing down felt more dangerous. 2 more years passed. Alex became vice president, and his salary reached its highest point. Leo remained a lead analyst with a reasonable salary, steady responsibilities, and control over his evenings. Then the economy slowed. Quiet rumors of restructuring began moving through Innovate Corp. At first, Alex dismissed the concern. His title and salary had always seemed like proof of security. But during a downturn, his enormous salary no longer looked like value. It looked like an expensive line item. One morning, a mandatory video call invitation appeared on Alex's screen. His stomach tightened immediately. The meeting was sterile and brief. His position was eliminated, and his access would end that afternoon. In less than 5 minutes, the title and paycheck supporting his entire identity disappeared. In another department, Leo learned that his essential role in reasonable cost made his position secure. The reversal was brutal. Alex's highest salary had become a weakness, while Leo's stability had become strength. Back at the penthouse, Alex opened his banking app and finally faced the numbers without looking away. The mortgage, car, credit cards, and memberships had consumed nearly everything. His severance covered less than 2 months. He had no emergency fund. He had always treated the next paycheck as his safety net. Desperate calls began to the mortgage lender, the car company, and the credit card departments. Every answer sounded the same. The perfect life began collapsing because every beautiful part of it depended on income that no longer existed. Alex listed the condo, prepared to return the car, and canceled every status symbol he had once defended. For the first time, he understood that owning expensive things and owning your life were not the same. A few weeks later, Alex asked Leo to meet him on a quiet park bench. "I may lose the condo and move back in with my parents. I thought I did everything right," Alex admitted. The man who had once projected certainty could no longer understand how 10 successful years had vanished so quickly. "You are not going to be homeless. My tenant is leaving and the other unit is available," Leo said. "Stay there until you recover. We can discuss rent after you are working again." "You own a duplex?" "Leo, when did any of this happen?" Alex asked. Leo explained the first automatic transfer, the small decision made before either friend had paid his first bill. He described increasing the percentage after every raise before his lifestyle had time to claim the difference. He built an emergency fund, paid down debt, and invested consistently through good markets and bad. His paycheck had not purchased applause. It had purchased assets, resilience, and the ability to help a friend. The goal was never the car, Leo explained. It was freedom, the ability to choose without fear. Alex finally saw the decade clearly. His work had maintained a lifestyle. Leo's work had built a future. "How did you do that?" "I always earned more than you," Alex asked. Leo looked at him calmly. "You paid everyone else first. I paid my future first. Paying yourself first does not require a huge income. It begins by automatically protecting a small percentage. Build an emergency fund, avoid increasing every expense after a raise, and let consistency perform the heavy work. A higher income can help build wealth, but only when part of it remains yours." Looking rich and becoming wealthy are different journeys. One buys attention. The other quietly buys freedom. When your next paycheck arrives, will you pay everyone else first, or will you pay your future first? Subscribe to Money Tales Studio for more stories about how money really works.